Welcome everyone. The topic of this video is phylum Cnidaria of invertebrates of chapter Animalia. The term Cnidaria in Greek refers to node, which means needle or sting cells. These cnidarians were previously known as Coelenterata, and these animals happen to be aquatic, sessile or free-swimming solitary or colonial forms. Aquatic in the sense they live in the water medium. Sessile in the nature they are attached to the substratum of the sea water. Mostly they are free-swimming organisms, and sometimes they are solitary, which means they live individually, or even sometimes they live in colonies, hence they are known as colonial. And more probably the animals exhibit a type of symmetry called as radial symmetry. So radial symmetry in the sense we can divide the animal into two equal halves at any angle. Such a symmetry is happen to be radial symmetry. So most of the cnidarians exhibit this type of symmetry, and very few such like sea anemones exhibit bilaterally symmetry. Because of the presence of certain specialized cells, namely cnidocytes or cnidoblast with stinging cells or nematocyst on tentacles, these organisms belongs to the phylum Cnidaria. So here two pictures are shown. The first picture where the nematocyst or the stinging cells are at rest condition, whereas the second picture the nematocyst in active condition. So these nematocysts are responsible for doing three vital important functions, namely anchorage, defense, as well as to capture the prey. Anchorage in the sense for gripping or for holding, defense in the sense from protection, as well as they are responsible also for capturing the prey. These cnidarians are the first group of organisms to achieve a tissue grade level of organization, and all cnidarians happen to be diploblastic. So diploblastic means they have the two germinal layers, namely an outer ectoderm as well as the inner endoderm. So because of the presence of these two germinal layers, they are diploblastic in condition. The middle mesoderm is absent in case of these cnidarians. In this picture, the longitudinal section of the hydra is shown, where the hydra contains a central vascular cavity or the coelenteron, which is called as the gastrovascular cavity. So this gastrovascular cavity has a small opening at the anterior end, what is known as the mouth or hypostome. So this mouth or hypostome is responsible for two vital functions, namely ingestion as well as egestion. Ingestion in the sense absorbing the food is done through this opening, as well as egestion in the sense releasing the waste is also done through the same opening. So they have a central vascular cavity or coelenteron, which serves for both digestion and circulation, with a single opening called mouth or the hypostome at the anterior end, which is also meant for the process of ingestion as well as egestion. In this picture, it is shown that the prey is inside the gastrovascular cavity of the hydra. So the digestion is of both types, namely extracellular and intracellular. Extracellular means the digestion takes place outside the cells. Intracellular in the sense digestion happens inside the cell. So both type of digestion is seen in case of the cnidarians. Cnidarians do not have a very well developed nervous system. However, they have a primitive type of nervous system, and by formation of a nerve net. So in this picture we could see the nerve nets happen to be found throughout the body of the organism. So such a nerve net is found in case of the cnidarians. And also cnidarians, like corals, they have a skeleton made up of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians exhibit two basic forms in their life cycle, namely polyp and medusa. The polyp forms are sessile and cylindrical, as in case of hydra, whereas medusa are umbrella shaped and free swimming, as in case of jellyfish. So here a hydra is shown. The hydra body is cylindrical in shape, as well as they are sessile, so that they are attached to the substratum. Whereas here in case of jellyfish, the body is umbrella shape, and these jellyfish are free swimming organisms. So cnidarians which exist in both forms, namely polyp and medusa, also exhibit alternation of generations in their life cycle, known as metagenesis. So once when they exhibit these two forms, namely polyp and medusa, the type is known as metagenesis. So this is very important from 2-mark point of view. Here in this picture, the alternation of generation or metagenesis is shown. So usually the polyp represents the asexual generation, whereas the medusa represents the sexual generation. So the polyp produces the medusa asexually and medusa produces the polyp sexually. So the polyp represents the asexual generation and medusa represents the sexual generation. So polyps produces the medusa asexually and medusa forms the polyps sexually. And after the fertilization, the development is said to be indirect and it includes a free-swimming ciliated planula larva. So the planula larva is a typical larva found in the case of the cnidarians. Some examples of the cnidarians are given as follows. Physalia, which is commonly called as Portuguese man of war. So this is the Physalia, commonly called as Portuguese man of war. And the next one is said to be Adamsia or the sea anemone. And the third one is Pennatula or sea pen. And the last one is said to be Meandrina or the brain coral. So with this, the topic Coelenterata is getting over. Regarding the next phylum, we'll see in the next videos. Thank you.